as we try to go forward, we've got to find a way to bring the country back together, particularly in this pandemic. I mean, this is the biggest health crisis for 100 years. People at the Bank of England said it may be the worst economic crisis for 300 years. People out there not talking about Brexit, they're talking about their jobs. They're talking about whether their business are going to go, their livelihoods. And, if Liberal Democrats and frankly all politicians are going to deserve the respect of the British people, we've got to focus on their concerns, not ours. Mm-hmm. We've got to be where they are. And I am determined, the Liberal Democrats used to do this brilliantly. It was a time when we were seen as a powerful voice and people did get behind us. But I think we have lost our way nationally, and I couldn't be more frank with you, could I? And I'm saying we've got to change that, and that's why I think when I go and talk to people in their communities and their workplaces, what they're saying to me is about jobs and business. What are you doing to help us on that?
But just to come back to Brexit, and I promise we'll leave it where it is for the moment. But people for Leave voters, Brexit was more than just a vote. It was an identity, and to have, as some see it, democracy undermined by people like the Liberal Democrats saying, "Well, we've got to do this again, and we've got to remain," is something that some people are struggling to forget. To be honest with you, you have called people who voted for Leave gullible. I wonder if you regret that.
Well, listen, back at the time, it was a very divided country. And I'd have thought people, including yourself, including your listeners, will want to make sure that politicians now are trying to come together. And we're trying to come together because of the pandemic. We've also got to come together on the future relationship with Europe. I mean, I'm very worried that the Prime Minister told people that there was an oven-ready deal, that there was a deal just to be done, that he'd done this great deal back in October. And now the very same person who signed that deal, who told him it was a fantastic deal, is saying it wasn't such a good deal.
So
and he wants to break
you're
it.
Absolutely
and
right.
break international
you're absolutely
law.
Right.
So therefore,
it's not just Leave voters, Ed. It's not just Leave voters. It could even be all Conservative Party voters or people that voted for Boris Johnson who are considered gullible.
Well, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is my job.
So the Leave voters were.
I'm saying now, as a responsible politician, that my job is to speak up to people wherever they were on those issues. And wherever you were on those issues, the Prime Minister's told us that he got an oven-ready deal. So where is it, Boris Johnson? And, there's a real danger that he'll either go for a no deal or a hard Brexit, a deal that's not very good. And at a time of economic and health crisis, when you sort of don't want to put barriers to trade, barriers to job creation, to saving jobs, he might well agree a deal that actually hurts our economy even more. And, that's why I'm passionate, Liberal Democrats are passionate about it. So
you're not, would you vote for a future trade deal if one were presented?
Well, not if it's going to harm our economy. I've got to make sure that
that's a big decision. I mean, I guess you might argue that any future trade deal that isn't the one we have was going to harm the economy in some way, and therefore you wouldn't vote for it at all.
Well, I mean, we've got to judge it when it comes, right? You're asking me about a hypothetical. What I'm concerned about is when I go around the country and I see all those people who are worried about their jobs and their businesses because of the coronavirus recession. I want to make sure we're doing everything we possibly can for them. So it's not unreasonable, is it, to be their voice and to say, is this deal going to make it better for the business, more likely that I'll save my jobs, more likely that my livelihood will continue? And by doing that, I think that is the way to bring the country together. My fear is it's the government who are wanting to divide us more. And, I regret the state we're in. I mean, of course, it's awful. And I'm not saying it's easy for the government, but they do seem to be making a bit of hash of it. They're even making a hash of Brexit, which was their policy.